Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Volusia Flagler Cares, a weekly show that features and spotlights all of the nonprofits in both Volusia and Flagler counties. We try to do our best. We try to get all of the nonprofits, especially if they have something coming up. If you know of a nonprofit, give us a call. Get in touch with us. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, all of it. We have a presence. You can find us. We'd love to speak with you and maybe get a chance to share your mission. And speaking of that, today we have with us Lindsay Elliott. Lindsay, we haven't had a chance to meet in person, and I was exposed to the people at Family Renew probably 7-8 years ago.
Right.
And from the Kiwanis Club, and had no idea, about a resource like this. However, I knew enough to know that you pay one way or the other. I'm a capitalist. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, you pay one way or the other. Why don't we keep it all positive and do it that way? Or you can end up enforcing and have to do negative payments. We don't want that. So I found out that these groups have the opportunity to live in a not in your typical homeless shelter where, you got to leave at 8 a.m. and then you got to come in and check in. You have no stability. You have no idea if you even have a bed. So, two things.
Yep.
First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you managed to get into this wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and then share with us a little bit more about what Family Renew does.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on the show. And I love that you highlight our local nonprofits, because we here think that we are the best kept secret, but we don't want to be kept a secret any longer. So, so I am originally from London, Ontario, Canada, a town between Toronto and Detroit. Moved to Florida with my parents when I was 18 and graduated from Stetson University. My internship out of Stetson was with Habitat for Humanity, where I have remained as an employee and the executive director for the last 23 years. So little did I know that decision to choose Habitat for Humanity for my internship when back in 2001 was going to really transform and create a pathway for my life. And so I have found an immense passion in housing and housing low and very low income families. And so, like I said, for the last 23 years, I've worked for Habitat for Humanity, the most recent 19 years at Flagler Habitat for Humanity. And I came to a point midway in my career, do I want to stay with Habitat forever or make a change? And so I continually, Family Renew kept sort of presenting itself in my world, and I knew that they were looking for an executive director.
They cross over a lot.
Yes. And so my resume landed here, and as a result, I landed here. So
They called your bluff, darn it.
Yes. And so I've been here since September of last year, so about 10 months, 9-10 months, and it was a tremendous move, and I am so glad that I made it. I thought sort of housing is housing, and I would be very familiar with what I'm doing here. It's very different. Working with homeowners and working with homeless, the same mission, the same thread, but a very different way to work with families. Working with Family Renew, which is a transitional housing for families with children under the age of 18, has been just transformative for me, let alone what we're able to do for our families. And so our families stay with us for 6 to 12 months. And
that's perfect.
And so we're really able to ensure that when they leave us, they're leaving with the tools that they need to be set up for success. And 6 to 12 months sounds like a long time, but we're working with, I mean, we know it goes by in a flash, doesn't it? But we're working
You
on
don't change a lifestyle or habits in less than 12 months. I mean,
exactly. And it takes time. And we're working with families who are living in their car with children. They are living maybe on somebody's sofa, probably don't even have access to their kitchen, living in a week by week pay motel, which is so expensive. But when you get caught in this cycle,
right.
It's very difficult to get out of it, of getting a paycheck, paying for your housing, food, and then all of a sudden you're out of money. And then you're waiting for that next paycheck to come, and there's no opportunity to ever save. And to be a renter is still very upfront heavy on costs. And so to have first, last, and security deposit, even if you can afford to pay rent, to get that is very expensive. Right. And so so we are able to take families in and work with them so that when they leave, they have the money, they have their own resources. So we're not giving them money. We're not giving them anything in that respect, but we're giving them the tools and the opportunity to save money so that their pride is in that they've done it.
Well, and like you said, that there's a cycle. Mm-hmm. And if you're on the wrong side of that cycle, it is absolutely impossible unless you win the lottery or some, freaky thing like that. Yeah. But other than that, it is not possible for you to catch up.
No.
Can you imagine somebody who just never, every morning they wake up and they cannot catch up, and they know that when they go to bed, the best that they can hope for is to somehow have fed their children.
Yeah, and survive through the next day. When you're in survival mode all the time, it's not a good place to live. And so when our families come to us, it's often there's a challenge in that shift from being in survival mode to allowing themselves to breathe and feel safe and comfortable here.
You're right.
You just haven't known that maybe ever or for a long time. And to allow your neurological system to relax and accept that you're in a safe place.
Just like we were talking about, that it's almost a fight or flight mentality that never leaves. It doesn't get a chance to just go, you know what? Let's just relax today. You know what? We worked real hard. There isn't that. There's none of that.
No. And when you're living in your car with your children and you're showering at truck stops, you have to go through fast food as your only mechanism for feeding your family because you don't have a heat source. So even if you go to a food pantry, you have nowhere to cook what you're receiving. Do you even have a can opener? If you could eat those beans with a spoon, do you even have a can opener?
And they'll give you a can of beans.
Right, right. And if it doesn't have a pop top, you're in trouble, right? So. But
I think they do go out of their way. I mean, I love Second Harvest.
Yeah. But a car is like a totally different, and we have a food pantry here, but if you're in your car, that's a totally different living environment. And so your only thought is, how will we survive? It's not about nutrition. It's not about health. It's about sustenance to make it through the day. And so when they come to us, like I said, they live here for free. They don't pay rent. They don't pay utilities, but they do a lot of work to earn their spot here, to stay here. So they have to have a job. And if they don't have a job when they arrive within 30 days, at working with our program manager, we help them
Oh, sure.
to
Yeah.
identify potential and opportunities and to ensure that they are employed. We drug test everybody before they come in.
But
Everybody
now,
over the age of
wouldn't most of the people test positive
a lot do.
before they got in?
Yeah, a lot do. But we test everybody over the age of 13 because we are a drug-free, alcohol-free, no felonies in the last 3 years, no arrests in the last year. Because it's such independent living here, we have to make sure that everybody is protected.
Well, and capable of
Yeah, yeah, of moving
not
forward
being
and
a
that they're
risk, I
in the
guess.
space because we're not educated to do alcohol and drug
Right.
issues, right? So we make sure that all of that is met. So when they come to us, and then we break down whatever barriers to employment there may be. Their children have to be enrolled in school, not homeschooling. We ensure that if they don't have a car, they have a bus ticket. We ensure that the children are, if they're younger, are enrolled in
Head Start.
childcare.
Okay.
And so parents are available then to be working. Then they must save 50% of their income goes into a savings account for a housing fund. And that sounds like a lot, but we're setting them up so when they leave us,
With you.
that 50%
Right.
is
No.
already coming out of their budget. So that money is going to go to their housing. We're just affording them the opportunity to put it into savings so that they can get out on their own, which is
Well, and it's
such a
almost
great
like,
skill.
good habits breed other good habits.
Right?
And if you were doing that, whether it was for a down payment, great. You know what? We've
Right.
already got the house. Guess what? If we
Right.
keep doing that, that will be the new cabinets. If
Yeah.
we keep doing that, that will be the new roof that we need. So all of these things go into training to make smarter decisions. Is that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. I mean, we're breaking generational behaviors and you don't know what you don't know. So if you've never been taught how to budget, how to save money, what the function of that is, why you would do that, you just continue, you covet. There's a line and it's funny, Silence of the Lambs that somebody used for me, and you covet what you know. So you only want for what you know. So if you
Right.
don't know anything beyond here, you're never going to move beyond there. So the joy that our families feel when they see their bank account accumulating funds they have never had an opportunity to save before because of this constant cycle they've been in. And so when they leave us, they have 6 to 12 months, they've saved $10,000 to $12,000. That is life-changing behaviors that they have instilled in them.
in one of those hometown heroes first hometown or first time buyer programs, you can get right in.
Yeah, yeah. So we partner with Habitat for Humanity as well.
I don't know if you know Brittany Arnold.
I don't know
She was
Brittany.
with the Southeast Volusia Habitat.
Okay, I know there's.
She was our guest about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah.
And she's also in my Kiwanis Club.
Okay, right.
And I mean, I had no idea of the resources
Yeah.
that are available. And so when I knew about what you did, and again, from just what Jim had told me, I forgot about Suzanne.
Right.
It was, that's right. They're kind of linked together.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was just a natural
Like this
bridge.
step prior, right?
Yeah.
And so Habitat loves us because we're already instilling a lot of the tools that they're otherwise also teaching their families. We do parenting classes, we do nutrition classes, we do financial education. And I thought initially, and this goes back to what we were talking about, I thought, God, why do we do nutrition classes? Like that almost seems like we're speaking down to people. But again, they now have a kitchen where they live. They can cook for themselves. So how do we make the best decisions with your food stamps, with the food pantry that we have to to now not just feed your body, but nutritionally feed your body and
Right.
your family, and do that on a budget so that your food stamps last the whole month. So it's fascinating to me. And I just love all of these new things that I'm learning as a leader here
Yeah.
every day. And I love that. And so we're here in Holly Hill. We have a location in Daytona and also in DeLand. Daytona is for single mothers only. So anybody who feels at risk, who's maybe had domestic violence,
Okay. Yeah.
who feels more comfortable in an all-female environment, we have that. And then here in Holly Hill and DeLand, it is single mothers, single fathers, or two-parent households. And I love that we're able to have single fathers and two-parent households, because often if you are homeless and in a shelter, many shelters don't take children at all, or in a rapid rehousing, there's often communal living. So there's a communal living space, there's a communal kitchen, where here all of our housing units are independent.
Okay, so
Completely
they're fully
independent.
autonomous,
Yeah.
like a suite.
Yeah. And so they're either old apartments. This in Holly Hill, it's an old motel, but it has kitchens. And so we're able to keep families together when they're going through one of the most difficult, stressful times in their lives, where staying together is probably so difficult anyways. We're not
Could you
separate.
imagine asking a 12-year-old girl to go down and in front of everybody? I mean,
Yeah.
it's unfathomable. I guess just the humiliation that, one would go through, and, God forbid something else is happening. I
Yeah.
mean, really, these are real life things.
Yeah.
And, I love the fact that you keep it to where the family gets to stay with the family as a family.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it makes men or even older teens that are male, when you're separated, you feel like you've done something wrong by virtue of being a man. But there's also the need to protect
Sure.
everybody. So we're very proud to have this opportunity to keep families together. And we have many two-parent households here that otherwise wouldn't have that opportunity. And so that's something that we're very proud of as well.
Yeah, well, you should be. I mean, there's so many places right now that are dropping the ball completely. And even if they try to pick it up, they don't have the empathy that it takes to get. You can sit there and go, okay, this thing, and it ends in 3 months, hopefully we'll get you off of drugs and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But if with no caring, with no cheering, with no anything else, by that 90 days, probably going to go back.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that, there's a little bit more to this than just time and and programs.
Yeah. So they
that
meet
there's-
with a program manager weekly, which is kind of like a counselor almost. It becomes that safe person in their life. They have to turn in their budget every week, all the receipts for every dollar that they spent, which if all of us had to do that, that's a scary thing, right? Debit cards are just swiped without any thought or care. They have to have their housing goals, how they're moving forward in that exit strategy. So it's always, you're here, but we have the end game in sight. And that relationship is incredible. And we make sure that they are not only financially, but emotionally and psychologically ready for this step, because it's a big step. And the relationships that are formed are so beautiful. And when they leave, they're often coming back to share their successes, because they have that person next to them who's guiding them for a year and helping them and cheerleading, like you said, for them when you don't
Right.
have anybody else in your life potentially. Anita, who is our program manager here in Holly Hill, was years ago with us as a single mother of 6. So she has successfully gone through our program.
Right.
She was in our DeLand campus, so as a single mom, and got her GED while she was with us, went on after graduating, got her AA degree, then went to University of Central Florida, got her bachelor's degree in psychology, and made her way back to us because she wanted to serve families like she was and pay it back. So when she's sitting with moms and dads who feel overwhelmed with what they're going through, right, she can share with them that it's okay. It's okay to be overwhelmed, but no, you will get through this because I've gotten through it. I've been there and I'll walk with you.
Well, and sometimes, you obviously, you get all kinds, and you have the people that are, the excuse makers.
Yeah.
But they can't get very far with someone like her, could they?
Right. Oh, no. She is reading your body language. She is listening to what you're saying. You're not going to get anything past her. And I love that. It's wonderful to see. And we're really meeting them where they're at when they come to us, because everybody's at a different place.
Well, how many different rooms do you have, I guess?
So total
families
units, we have 32 units across our campuses. Here in Holly Hill, we have 14. We have 11 in Daytona and then 7 in DeLand. Later this year, we'll be opening in Edgewater. And so we'll have another 8 units available in Edgewater. So we're continuing to grow. The need is certainly not diminishing.
It's only going to get even worse, unfortunately.
The access to affordable housing.
I swear I try to be positive.
No.
And I'm scared to death.
I mean, access to affordable housing. If you're a single parent making minimum wage or even $15 an hour, supporting 4 children, 3 children, 2 children, even supporting yourself, like, how are you supposed to make ends meet? And how are you supposed to afford $1,400 in rent? $1,600. Right. I mean, 14's the low end, right? It's just not possible. And so what people need is the opportunity to better themselves. So like I said, we make sure that if they don't have their GED, that they have their GED when they leave us. If they want to get a certificate program, if they want to enroll at Daytona State, we're creating those access points for them to better themselves. That's all right. We just had a young man who became a welder, which has set him, I think they're graduating this weekend, has set them up for a life of success. We have another young man who became a security officer. They were so pleased with him. He was hired before he even graduated. They had a job for him. We have a woman in DeLand who we have just helped to become a dental hygienist. So it's all about not only like, who are you and how do we get you through, but how do we make you the best version of yourself and utilize opportunities to become that best version. So when you leave here, your circumstances have changed, you've saved money, your path, your trajectory in life has totally shifted, and you're on a different path, one that's much brighter, hopefully filled with a little more ease and opportunity.
Well, again, that time to catch up. It's just everything.
And people are going to stumble and fall, but here it's a safe place to stumble and fall because you have the time and the opportunity to get back on your feet. And stumble and fall means like maybe you lose your job. We have resources to help you to ensure that you're not out of a job for very long. And you have the motivation now, which is different than maybe you had before. If your car breaks down, these are things that can sideline, or if you get sick, that sideline and just draw people into homelessness. And so many people are one bad incident away from losing everything.
A flat tire away from no transportation.
And you can't make it to work. Or your child gets sick and you're out for a week. You've lost your job. So there's a space to breathe here and to realign yourself. And maybe those hopes and dreams that you have are possible and you can explore them a little bit here. We
Well,
have one young man
oh,
who's a kiddo, and he's going into his senior year at high school, and I saw him doing homework out at the picnic tables, and I stopped and I talked to him, and we talked about, it's been a tough year for him, and he was having difficulty with trigonometry, and he wants to be a marine biologist. And what struck me that I love so much is that he has a dream. His road is paved beyond graduating high school. His road is paved beyond today. And we can help him to achieve that dream. Like, now that I know it, how can I help you access opportunities? So we got him the opportunity to, on the 14th of July, he's going to a social justice 3-day camp at Stetson University. So who's he going to meet there? What contacts is he going to have?
right.
That he would never have had he not been here. But dreaming is something that stops when you're homeless because you're at
You know what?
survival.
I think you put it exactly correctly. And like what this young man did, he had enough positive attitude, confidence, whatever
Yes.
that is, but he threw out the intention. And in some cases, if you don't do that, other people, they're ready and willing to help you, but
Yeah.
they don't know, where do you want to go? How can we
Yeah.
help you get there?
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to get that intention out there, and then you can rally around and coalesce and,
Speak
become
it, right? And somehow
system.
things start to happen.
Right, right. So I love that you had that story to share with us. So
Yeah.
now let's get to, none of this stuff happens for free.
Right.
And there's two things that you guys do that I want to share with everybody. One is, I believe that the housing that you provide, you allow the tenants, I don't know what they're called, but the tenants
Since, yep.
to go and select their furniture from the secret attic. Is that correct? Or is it
Close.
already pre-furnished?
Nope. So when they come in here, it's pre-furnished.
Okay.
They
well,
are completely set up. And when they graduate, they can take everything from their apartment with them to their new housing, except for the fridge, the stove, and
right.
the bunk beds, because everybody lives in bunk beds here. Otherwise, furniture, TV, pots, pans, silverware, bathroom rugs, curtains, shower curtains, sheets, pillows, everything can go with them. So it's a starting point, because if you have nothing and you're moving into an apartment, that's very expensive, right?
Yeah.
And so we're giving them a little help. So we rely on donations to then refurnish and reset up each of our apartments for the next family coming in. So here in Holly Hill, that means, because they're very small units here, it's an old 1940s or 50s motel. We can only fit a love seat in for the wall space and the door. So a love seat, TV, a coffee table, end table, lamps, pots, pans, silverware, shower curtains. We put new, and all of this can be gently used. We put new pillows, brand new sheets on the beds.
Sure, the linens you definitely want.
Yeah. And towels we try to have to be new. But otherwise, everything can be gently used. And so sometimes then at that point, we look to the secret attic, which is our thrift store where our community is so generous to donate to us. And we're able to put those donations in to restock our apartments. And then also our families can go there to get any clothes that they need for free. So
so they can continually go there. Oh,
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
yeah, and we have a food pantry here. We have books. We have hygiene items, soap, shampoo, conditioner, feminine items, cleaning products. So all of those costs are saved because we're able to provide that. So diapers. So often
Yeah.
we'll have churches or offices or organizations will do drives around cleaning products. We just had Sunrise Bank did a pillow drive. We have 65 brand new pillows and bed sheets, which is fantastic. So, diaper drive, those sorts of things are so valuable to us because they're going right to our families.
Well, we're going to go ahead and put up a QR code
Oh,
so that people
fabulous.
can just click and go right to the Family Renew site.
Thank you.
And then they'll have, be able to get in and figure out how to donate.
Yep.
And we'll actually put the donate link up there too, because
Perfect. Thank you.
I think that, like I say, there's people get confused because you accept donations. That's kind of like a third business with the secret attic, but you guys also need cash, money, gently used
Yep. Yep.
stuff that's for the families and the kids.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, well, we are going to wrap this one up. And Lindsay, thank you for all of your patience. We've had some technical difficulties. Everybody,
Worries. No worries.
believe what we've been through, but we did pull it together, and I think we have a very informative and a fun show. We have that reel. We'll go ahead and include that. And listen, everybody. The 4th of July is coming right up. And as a former military veteran, I got to tell you, my dad was in the military as well. We were stationed in Ottawa, Canada. So every day, not that I was picked on, but I defended this country. In my own little way at an elementary school, I did. And to see some of the things that are happening right now with those relationships, and militarily, what I believe is not what I signed up for, not what I took an oath for. And I'm embarrassed that there are people that have not figured that out and have chosen to make the wrong choice. So with that, I'm going to leave everybody. Sorry it's a downer, but we've got some serious issues and we need some help. And, get it together, folks. This is Independence Day, not Dictator Day. So get it together, folks. We'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Kelly.